Yueh. A million deaths were not enough for Yueh. House Atreides has fallen. An attempt on the lives of Paul Atreides and Lady Jessica has just been taken, but it has failed. They are all alone now in the desert, but they are not without help. Dr. Yueh leaves behind a Frem kit, which will help them to survive the desert of HERETICS. Dr. Yueh gives Paul Atreides the signet ring of Duke Leto, but he also gives him a letter. But what did this letter say exactly, and what are the deeper meanings behind it? Let's take an in-depth look at the letter of Dr. Yueh. In the shooting script, written in Dr. Yueh's handwriting, the letter reads, "There is an Atreides transmitter in the Frem kit. If anyone survives, they'll find you." But the earlier Dune draft offers much more of an explanation as to why Dr. Yueh did what he did. The letter in Yueh's handwriting in the Dune draft goes, "Do not try to forgive me. What I have done without hope of forgiveness or understanding. I give you the signet ring as proof of the truth. By the time you read this, Duke Leto will be dead. Take consolation from this. He did not die alone. The one we hate above all others died with him." So the Dune draft offers much more of an explanation as to why Dr. Yueh betrayed House Atreides, and his thinking at the time of his actions and what they meant to him. But we get a much more complete picture at the psychology of Dr. Yueh in the Dune book written by Frank Herbert, where he actually includes some very interesting wording which reveals even more details about Dr. Yueh's thinking, and sets up something for Paul Atreides himself in future events, and it's linked to a particular word which we will cover. In Frank Herbert's Dune, the letter reads, "Do not try to forgive me. I do not want your forgiveness. I already have enough burdens. What I have done was done without malice or hope of another's understanding. It is my own Tahaddi AL-BURHAN, my ultimate test. I give you the Atreides ducal signet as token that I write truly. By the time you read this, Duke Leto will be dead. Take consolation from my assurance that he did not die alone. That one we hate above all others died with him." So Dr. Yueh's ultimate test was called the Tahaddi AL-BURHAN, as he calls it. And this is terminology that is recorded in the terminology of the Imperium. Tahaddi al-Burhan is actually two words that come from Arabic. Tahaddi meaning challenge, Burhan meaning proof. So the term actually means a challenge of proof. Tahaddi al-Burhan is Arabic, but it is also linked to very interesting history. And there are interesting connotations to this because Paul Mu'addib had to prove that he was the Mahdi, so that was in a sense his Tahaddi al-Burhan. But Frank Herbert uses this term in several ways which are interesting. He first lets Dr. Yueh use it, making the Arabic part of his own vernacular and part of the language of the Imperium, which shows that Arabic has survived 10,191 years into the future. But the word occurs again among the Fremen, who also use Arabic when they describe the Tahaddi challenge in combat. The Tahaddi challenge itself is linked to the Quran in the Islamic faith, and a challenge that is presented within it that asks man or jinn to produce a surah or chapter like that within the Quran. And it is likely that Frank Herbert was aware of this verse, and he would have read it to be something like this: "If they say he invented it himself, say, bring one surah like it. Call on whom you will besides God to help you, if what you say be true." So the Tahaddi challenge is deeply rooted in Islamic theology. And even the word Burhan, meaning proof, is used in the Quran to encourage others to produce their Burhan or proof if they are truthful, which makes the term Tahaddi al-Burhan a phrase of epic proportions, and dare I say, biblical proportions. It's almost like Frank Herbert was trying to say that the challenge of the Quran is the ultimate challenge. And this is how Dr. Yueh describes his challenge. This is a huge deal for him, the biggest challenge he's ever had to face in his life. But not only is the word Tahaddi al-Burhan used by Dr. Yueh, it appears later with Paul Atreides as he fights Jameis in the Tahaddi challenge. So this Quranic challenge has now become a part of the Fremen way of life, but it is linked more now to the survival of the Fremen in a combative sense, which links all the way back to their Muslim ancestors. In the terminology of the Imperium, the Tahaddi challenge is defined as the Fremen challenge to mortal combat, usually to test some primal issue. Stilgar later says in the presence of Hara, after Paul defeats Jamis, that it was Jamis' doing. He invoked the Tahaddi al-BURHAN. So for the Fremen, the Tahaddi al-BURHAN is also now used to signify the ultimate challenge to combat, and for Paul Atreides, because he never had to kill before, the besting of Jamis was Paul's Tahaddi al-BURHAN. The word Burhan also reoccurs in the Dune novel, and is found in the Fremkit, in the Kitab al-Ibar, or the Manual of the Friendly Desert, which is also what Dr. Yueh left for Paul and Jessica. The glowing tab of the Fremkit manual between them on the 10th floor caught her eye. She lifted it, glanced at the flyleaf, reading, "Manual of the Friendly Desert, the place full of life. Here are the AYAT and BURHAN of life. Believe, and ALAT shall never burn you." The word AYAT means signs. So this sentence found in the Manual of the Friendly Desert means, here are the signs and proofs of life. And the word AYAT links back to the Quran, because the verses of the Quran are called AYAT, and within it are the proofs, or the Burhan. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and click the bell so that you can be first to be notified of new videos. If you like these videos and wish to see more, you can support me on my Patreon, which will help me create more content for you all. Thanks to my Patreons and subscribers for your support, and until next time, see you soon.